Yes. So yes, you can ask question. Yes. So please introduce yourself.
Okay, sure. So hello, sir, and hello, audience. My name is Gayatri Sharma. I am from west part of UP. I have been an English language trainer for 3.5 years. In my career, I have worked with amazing brands, national and international. Currently, I'm associated with Prime Kids Academy. That is an American brand where I teach American students. But if apart from that, I have also worked with some Indian brands. Throughout my journey, I have helped more than 5 to 6,000 learners to improve their communication skills, comprehension, grammar, technical aspects of the language. So that is all about me.
Yes. Well. So
Mhm.
yes. So we can start.
Sure.
So yes, I would like to ask you what challenges you generally feel in during teaching the American students.
I don't generally face challenges, to be honest, because I have been the one who had been or who has been consuming American content for a good period of time. So I generally do not face any problem understanding their accent or anything. The only thing which I feel or which surprises me is the intense practice they have regarding English itself. So what happens, like the kind of syllabus we have here in India, which is in 10th standard or maybe in 8th standard, American kids are being taught in their second, third, fourth standard. That's how it works. That surprised me at first when I joined that brand. It surprised me first. I had to understand the syllabus. I had to got in the moment because I am the one who is the communication coach. I teach people for communication, personality, spoken English. I was pretty, or I am pretty good at grammar, but not that intensive side of grammar. So that was something which was a bit tricky for me, but somehow I made my way and I'm able to teach them quite confidently.
Well, so basically, there is two problems. Specifically, is English speaking is concerned. The two problems. The firstly, the most of the English learner, specifically in Indian student, they try to translate inside their head, and that's why they are not able to frame sentences instantly. And second thing, they do not have ideas. So these two problems. What solution you would like to give them?
Sure. So I believe translation can be used just as a tool, not the way of learning a language. If you don't know, so I can have an example over here. Suppose I have a spoon in my hand, right? So I don't know like what to call that in English. Like now I know it's a spoon, but Hindi mein and aapki mother tongue mein, whatever you call that, you must know what it is called in English. So that's how you can take the help of translation. But all the time you cannot keep translating first and then talking to people. That hindrances your fluency. So to a certain level, you can go for translation and later on, please. And what is the solution to the translation is consuming as much as you can. Consumption helps you a lot to stop translating. Like when you know everything in English, why would you translate? So better you consume a lot and then you start consuming content from different walks of life. You learn how to have conversation with doctors. You learn how to have conversation with engineers, politics people, and whatnot. Like so, diversify the context and then learn about it. This is for translation. I am not against of translation. I never say that you stop translating. If it helps you, go for it. But then at one point of time, you have to stop translation. And that will happen when you know everything in the language you want to learn. So that's the solution. And second is idea generating, that they don't have or they don't know how to generate ideas. So there is no way to generate ideas. If you believe that you can generate ideas on your brain from your brain itself, it is not possible. You have to eat. Like for example, your body is a machinery, right? So you fuel your body by having food. Same, your brain is a machine. How will it produce ideas if it doesn't have the fuel? So better you go and have or accumulate some information, and that information will help you to produce and generate ideas. That's what I feel about fluency and generation, IT generation.
Now, the biggest concern is how to teach these two concepts. Students, especially in Indians, how to teach, because what do you think that how they should be taught?
Okay, there is no hard and fast rule. I fast rule to teach this, and there is nothing like teaching the student. You have to make your student live in the language. He must just simply ask the student if he wants to take the help of translation. Better you ask him to label everything around him or her, or whatever the objects he or she sees. Ask him to label that. Give it a name. If it has name, better the person must know the name. So this is the one way to make him live the language, to make him translate everything. He must know that चलने को क्या कहते हैं, मारने को क्या कहते हैं. Like I'm from Hindi medium, so I would better tell that okay, this could be the way to learn translation. But then later, when you talk about ideas, the person must have information. Okay, had someone not told me before that A for apple, in apple which we have a fruit, right? So I would have never known it. Someone told me, I had this information, someone passed this information to me, and I am still able to understand that that is an apple, so I can take it. So better when it is information, information can be consumed, information can be taken from places. You can, if you are interested in yoga, start learning more about yoga in English only, so that you can talk to someone in English about yoga. If you are interested in music, talk about music in English. If you are interested in dancing or karate or any specific field, gather information about that. Why to stick to, a lot of people say that I am a big movie buzz, like buff, like they keep watching a lot of movies. But when you ask them about one movie, when you ask them to give a movie review, then they don't have the right words to talk about a movie. So better they should go and learn the good words related to the context and the specific field they want to talk. So there is nothing to teach students. It's just like making them be in the language, or making them surround themselves in the language so that they learn how to surround.
Yes, interesting. Now I have another question to that. Now, suppose as a student, I am in front of you. And now, how you will make you fluent English speaker?
I never, first of all, I don't know, no one and no teacher on this earth can make you fluent. Yeah, if you were my student, that is a different case. See, I can make you improve. I can never be the person who can make you fluent, because at the end of the day, you have to train your mouth muscles. You have to work on the ideas which I give you. So I am the person who can guide you, who can give you ideas, who can help you understand the concepts, who can clarify your doubts, who can give you a roadmap to work on, but you have to work on it. So if I had to make someone fluent, which I can never do, but if I had to make someone improve his or her spoken English, first I will assess the person, I will see what's his or her level, where does he or she stand. I will see that if their fundamentals are clear or not. So I will work on the fundamentals. I will give them as much vocabulary as I can. Like I would not bombard them, but I would make them live the real life English. So I'll go for the conversational videos where I can talk to them on different scenarios, different aspects of the life, different topics of the life which people keep talking about. So movies, yoga, dance, or whatever they like. So I will make them have conversation as much as I can. Then third thing which I will do is like I will give them some practices, shadow practices, or maybe tongue twister, which will train their mouth muscles, these mouth muscles. So these practices help you train your mouth muscles, and that's how you get fluent and you get comfortable with the language.
Yes, well, now, so basically, what happens that most of the teachers they focus more on the grammar. What do you think that the only teaching grammar is going to help them to speak good English?
I could not hear the question properly. I missed on it.
My point is that most of the teachers they focus more on the grammar. What do you think the grammar can only help them to speak good English?
See, even I am a big fan of grammar. I do love teaching grammar to people. I feel like grammar is the foundation of any language, but it is not solely the only thing which can make you fluent or which can make you speak in the language. So, what you have to do, it could be one aspect of learning a language. Your fundamentals should be clear because that brings that confidence. If your fundamentals are clear, they bring the confidence in you that no, I whatever I'm talking is accurate enough to be understood. I am not the one who is making mistakes in present and past. This is very basic, right? So if I have to tell someone that, oh, I have told you yesterday, this is not the right sentence. I told you yesterday. That is the right sentence, right? I didn't went there. I didn't go there. So these are basic fundamentals which should be clear, which should be understood, but this is not something which I would support all the time. You cannot keep correcting students all the time. It also brings their confidence down because all the time, if I keep correcting their sentences, that brings their confidence down. That makes them feel very bad about that. Oh, am I the only one who is making a lot of mistakes, right? So I do support basic fundamentals of grammar. At the same time, I also believe that grammar should be taught in very realistic way. Not all the time you start, pinpointing very minute mistakes of a person. Even sometimes I make mistakes and I understand that. Yeah. So fundamentals, it should be there, but not all the time, and you don't have to worry about. And when people speak in English, I always ask them not to at all be worried about when they are talking to people. So in real life conversations, don't focus on grammar much. Try to express your point of view. If you are able to make it, you can go ahead, but then don't stick to that also. Okay, I am able to talk, and don't then I don't look for the improvement because there is always a room for improvement. So if you are the one who can communicate, who can put across your point of view, even after that you feel that something is there which needs to be improved, then keep looking for improvement, keep working on your concepts, on grammatical concepts, to amplify, to refine your spoken English. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Actually, yes, very nice. Now I have another question that is related to again here. Now you have told that you should must have clarity over the tenses. Now the real question is that the how to get clarity, because the most of the people they know the tenses, but the moment they have to speak, they keep committing same kind of mistakes over and over. So how they should get clarity
Oh,
over this? Yes.
yeah. Most of the people don't know about tenses. That's the kind of misnomer they have. That's what I have understood by a lot of people. Then some students, some learners, they try to be a bit over smart, and then they say, "Ma'am, I know all the concepts." But when I start asking them, they tell me what are the concepts, how many tenses are there, and how do we use, and what are the uses. See, knowing tenses means you know everything. How are they supposed to be used in real life spoken English, right? Academic is different. People think whatever I learned in my academics is enough to speak in English. It is enough, but then how you never used it. So it is not revised, it is not spoken, it is not practiced. How will you understand it? So no. So first of all, clear this misnomer or misunderstanding that you know the grammar, you don't know. And even if you know it, and after knowing the concepts you make mistakes, that means you have not practiced enough. So you are supposed to utilize those concepts. If I have a plate and then I have four chapati, then I have rice, then I have a bowl of dal, pearls, and then bit of vegetable, I don't eat it. It's just like if someone asks me, I say, no, 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 I have food in my plate. I'm hungry and I'm not having it. So if you know grammar, if you know grammatical rules, start using them in your real life. Start practicing on those rules. Start applying those rules in your real life. Don't go for all the rules in one go. Pick present indefinite tense first, and then follow some 10 to 15 exercises around that tense on. Talk on the topic. Whenever you need to talk on general topic, make sure you are conscious enough to use present indefinite. Make sure you are conscious enough to say he doesn't behave well, than saying he don't behave well. He don't behave well is wrong. Right? It's the wrong sentence. Than saying, oh, it works sometime. It works sometime. So these are the present indefinite tense. So better you know the concept, apply the concept now. It is the time to apply the concepts. It's not like कि ठीक है academics में पढ़ा था अभी पढ़ना नहीं है दोबारा tenses. Even yesterday I took generally Saturday Sunday which I take free classes. So I got a comment from a student, ma'am, I joined your class yesterday and I found it very boring just because of grammar. I know all the rules. And the message she typed to me was full of grammatical mistakes. There were a lot of mistakes she had committed. So I said that, see, I believe that grammar is the fundamental way to learn a language. This is how I function. I give variety to the people. I'm not always just making you talk. I will fill your brain first and then I will ask you to talk. So that's how I work. Yeah, that's what I can say. So
very interesting metaphor you are just actually giving. But the real question is, once I teach specifically the adult learners, I teach the only corporate professional. And the moment you start teaching them grammar, they feel bored. They start feeling bored. And they do not enjoy the classes. Then I have to do something different. Because I personally, I don't like grammar, personally. Yeah, I have learned grammar. I am also teaching grammar in school level, but I do not enjoy grammar. And especially teaching the adult learners, it is very difficult to keep them enjoying and make the class entertaining. What do you think that how we can make our classes more entertaining, more effective?
so
Yes.
I I never support first of all entertainment when it comes to learn something
My
very
point is that
seriously.
the enjoyment, because your classes must not be get bored, and the
Yeah.
students must enjoy the classes. This is my point.
Mhm. Yeah, that is true. That is true. So first of all, see, even I don't teach corporate people grammar. I am more of connecting. First of all, a lot of teachers even don't know how to teach grammar, and that's what something I have witnessed on YouTube. I am the one who has gone through thousands of videos so far, making sure from academic English to spoken English to business English to communication and whatnot. I have gone through thousands of videos in last 5 years so far, and they don't know how to teach grammar. Like there are few names I can take. They are so really good when they teach grammar. I enjoy. I can watch their hours and hours and hours classes. That relatability is not built. First of all, whenever you teach grammar, build relatability. That's not always like jata hai khata hai or giving typical tips. Make sure that they are able to brainstorm while learning grammar, that how I can use it in my real life. So when you bring them in the reality and then you make them use grammar, they enjoy it. This is the first thing. Second, yes, you can use some creative activities to teach a student grammar. You can give them some action verbs and ask them to change into different tenses or different forms of the tenses, present, past, future, something like that. Then you can make them understand that how to and where to use this particular concept. If I'm teaching them present indefinite, I must know how to correlate the tense with their real life, because they are there to learn real life. They are not there to learn that talk jata hai, khata hai, Sita khana khati hai. No, they are there to learn how they do and how do they function in their real life. So that's what I think about teaching grammar. I enjoy grammar. People must know and teachers must know how to teach it, how to make it enjoyable. So you can have fun activities, you can have fun games, you can make them understand the real uses of English grammar, not the bookish knowledge, the bookish rules. That is not for the spoken English. You can make them talk on a topic and set the intention that this particular topic is supposed to be described in present indefinite only. So this make them conscious about it. That's how you can teach them.
Yes, well. Yes, if you want anything, ask me, so you can also ask.
Yeah, so I would ask one thing. I was watching few of your videos before I joined this conversation. So I want to know that how did you get to know about like my videos and my things? Yeah.
Actually, it's all about the algorithm. Once you are watching scrolling YouTube, so it's due to algorithm, your video is coming. So once I watched your video, so that inspired me to have a conversation. Yes.
Great, great to know that. So you have been, sir, in the industry for a decade. That's what I got to know you told that, oh, I have been teaching in government school, at the same time I have been training corporate people. So what are, I would say, pieces of advice for me? Like, what would you suggest to me to grow in the industry or to work more?
Yes. So firstly, I would like to one thing say to you. That is, you are very promising English teacher, a very enthusiastic English teacher, and your the approach is very very amazing. Now, next things I would like to tell you that this yesterday at the class I have attended your class, and where I was feeling that yes, you can make it more engageable with the help of slides and with the help of the activities, or you can just there are lots of slides and also the fill up forms is as well there are. So students must, because lots of students are leaving, so they could they could stay there. This is the first thing. Now, next thing is that specifically the ones you are teaching English speaking. So focus, because your point was that the public speaking and the spoken English. So main idea is that because English speaking is more than the grammar. Grammar. Lots of people they know grammar very nice and they have good command over grammar, but the moment they have to speak, it is very difficult them to speak. So speaking is something different, something more than grammar. So how to describe a picture, how to describe a video. If you, the problem is that what happens, the most of the people are able to understand English, but they are not able to speak. The reason is that they try to focus more on the understanding. They're not focus more on the speaking. So this is the way activity I just apply this to my students. Just I play a video and they have to understand video instantly and then you have to speak instantly. And this is the way I just force them to speak. You have to consume content and then you have to let it out. So that is active learning. Only consuming content is actually the passive way of learning. Now, the only difference is a good English speaker is, and between us, between me, is that the how he is framing sentences and how I am framing sentences. And once you're able to fill up this gap, you will be able to become better English speaker. So this is the way we can just also introduce them to better English speaker, better who have better ideas, better vocabulary. And the best way to learning English is to directly learn vicariously how American babies are learning English, how they have more clarity about the sentence formation, about the grammar, and about everything. An American baby who is not able to read and write his own name, but he's able to speak more clearly than many of adult learners. Why? Because he is learning grammar vicariously. And the same concept we can also apply to teach our students. And this is my point.
Okay, so I just want to inform you one thing here, because it was the very first day of yours in my class, and not very first day. I mean, you just randomly joined it and stumbled upon in my classes. I have been conducting these sessions for good period of time, and that was the first day I started teaching grammar, because that was requested. Though I had been conducting my session in the same way, I used to give them topic and I used to make them talk on topics. I used to give them videos and I used to make them shadow the videos. Then I would give them some vocabulary. I would play some games with them. So this is what I have been doing. I do not want to confine my classes just for sake of speaking only. I also want to provide and deliver accuracy. So that's what I want to inform you first of all. So my classes are not all about grammar. My classes are also about practical implementation of everything, going for picture depiction, describing, writing paragraph, thinking, merging sentences. People say that I can speak one sentence, but I cannot speak multiple sentences in one go. I cannot speak complex sentences. So I then make them talk. So this is what it is. But thank you so much for inviting me. Anything else I can talk about?
Yes, so I really enjoyed this session with you. Yes, anything else you would like to tell our audience? So please go ahead.
Yeah. So to the audience, I will say one thing. Everyone, there is no moment to be perfect enough and to start something. If you are the one who is thinking that let me learn first this and then I will start talking, it is never going to happen. So better you start talking from today onwards. Pick one object around you, start talking about that, start talking on small things. That's what I can suggest you. And if you want more guidance, you can check out my channel as well. So that's what I can say.
Sure.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, sir.